So my last video, it ended abruptly, but I was just writing a note here. Obviously this doesn't mean anything, but you would write something that made sense. Then you press save. And then when the students get to that part, they'll see, oh, my teacher wanted me to know this additional piece of information, and they can read it. So there you go. So I just talked through how to do multiple choice question, how to do open-ended question, and how to write a note. And you can use combinations of all three throughout your video. So let's say I've put in a bunch of questions. Maybe I put in 10 questions or so, and I'm ready to finish and post it and have my students do it. So I'll say, go to the top, press finish, and you'll see these little like teardrop markers, and that tells you where in the video the questions appear. And it also shows up here as well on the side. So I'll say assign, and what you'll do is add in your classes from Google Classroom. So here I have my different classes that I use for my school, and I'll click on the class that I want to assign it to. I will choose a start date and a time here, and then I'll do a due date, and you can also do a due date time. I would strongly recommend prevent skipping. So this prevents students from just like skipping ahead in the video. Kids obviously want to do that to save time, but in the long run, they won't be able to answer the questions properly. I would also recommend turning on CCs, closed captioning, as a lot of students like to use captions. And I also would turn on post on Google Classroom. So I'm going to click a class that I no longer teach, which is this one, and I'll say assign. So let's say my classes aren't in here. I will say add new class, and you can actually go to import class, click on Google Classroom, and it'll connect to Classroom here. And then you can actually add your classes into EdPuzzle. So I have not yet imported my forensics classes, so I might do that right now. So I'm going to click my 2 forensics classes, and I'm going to press import. And it might take a second. And now they should all show up here, so I can click one class at a time or multiple classes. Then I will press assign. So let me go back to the sports medicine class that I don't teach anymore. I'll say assign, and it'll show up here. You'll see all the names of your students in the class. And then once they watch it, you'll be able to see the answers that they did to each of the questions. Then you'll press share assignment. And here is where you can embed a link in Google Classroom, but it should already be there. Also on this page are places where you can download grades, delete the assignment, you can export grades, you can reset student progress. Like let's say you want to have them redo the assignment, you can clear all the data out and have them do it over. So that's what it will look like here. And then I'll show you what it looks like when the kids actually have completed an assignment. So here was an assignment for my sports medicine class last semester. It was a video on concussions, what happens when you have a concussion. And here are all my students in that class, and here are all the questions they answered. So I can go and click on a student, and then I can go through each of their questions and give them a grade. So let's say I liked this answer, then I could say 100, the check mark. I can also write a comment like great job, or next time, like write like in full sentences. You can, whatever you want to comment, right? So you can comment, add grades, and then eventually, once you've graded everything, it'll give the student a total grade, which you then can put into whatever grading software that you use.